continuing, and of course you will be a part of Vidyadan team, and of course you will be a part of our entire segment of Vidyadan. अब जैसे कल मिस्टर घई ने भी बोला था कि हम लोग छोटे लेवल से शुरू करते हैं, लाइक उन्होंने ये कॉन्सेप्ट निकाला विद्यादान का, which is going across the country, and even I hope you won't be surprised कि हमारे पास इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंटेल भी आ रहे हैं, बाहर से केन्या से लोग भी आ रहे हैं, साउथ अफ्रीका से भी हैं, तंजानिया, रवांडा, and then we have people from Dubai watching our sessions, and of course learning and growing with the time. So similarly अभी आज social media marketing का क्लास है, तो for social media marketing जैसे उस दिन हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे, एंड इवन सर ने काफी अच्छा एलैबोरेट किया था कि व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग. अभी हम लोग जब सब घर में बैठे थे, ऑल्दो इट्स अ लॉकडाउन 1.0, sorry, it's open now, it's not locked down. I'm sorry. तो अभी जब वो खुल गया है 1.0 में, तो हम लोगों को उतना फ्रीडम नहीं है कि सब निकल रहे हैं बाहर, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग देखते हुए, सब रूल्स रेगुलेशंस फॉलो करते हुए हमें जैसे धीरे धीरे जाना है और खुद को भी सेफ रखना है, अपना आगे भी सबको सेफ रखना है, एंड family ko, society ko. So we have to be caring for the society, we have to be compassionate for the society, we have to make sure that everybody learns, they continue to learn, all right, and उसी के लिए आपको भी चांस मिलेगा बात करने का, आपके क्वेश्चंस भी आंसर होंगे. इफ यू वांट, हम लोग आपको ऑन स्क्रीन भी हम क्वेश्चन आपके आंसर करवाएंगे, बट यस, आपको सीखते रहना पड़ेगा. आप सीखते रहिए, हम लोग आपके साथ पूरा कंधे से कंधे मिला के, और जितना हम लोग से आपके साथ एक्सपर्ट्स ला सकते हैं, वी विल ट्राई आवर बेस्ट कि हम वो लाएं, और आपका सीखने का कर्व जो है वो चलता रहे. So इसी के साथ I will have Mr. Ashutosh Sharma with us. As technology हमेशा साथ नहीं देता ना, तो I think आज उनकी तरफ से थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट का इशू आया है, तो he is working on it and things are getting sorted. But you have to be with me for another 2 minutes. So any questions you have? Okay, we have started getting questions abhi se. Nice. Yes, so any feedback for your yesterday's session, your first session on social media marketing class? The chat window is open. Yes, I have a hand raised. Sandeep Tanwarji. Sandeep ji, what do you have to say? You want to talk? ओके, तो हम लोग ऐसा करते हैं, संदीप जी को बुला लेते हैं बात करने के लिए. ओके, लेट मी ट्राई. Okay, again technology issue, it's not getting connected. Let me see if my technical person from the backend can do it. If they will be able to give me a permission, तो मैं आपको बुलाती हूँ and then we'll talk. Thank you, and here you go, Mr. Tanwar. जी तनवर जी, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके बात कर सकते हैं. यस, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. आपको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा सर.
हेलो,
Yes, sir.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
Good morning.
अब ये
Hi.
आवाज
Yes, we have Ashutosh sir is here. Thank you, sir. You are here. We were I was taking feedback from people, and
Okay.
currently we have Mr. Sandeep Tanwar ji. मैंने उन्हें बोला कि आप हमें फर्स्ट सेशन का या कुछ फीडबैक देना चाहते हैं तो बताइए। जी तनवर जी बताइए।
थोड़ा नेट का इश्यू है, डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है, वापस से कनेक्ट करता हूं मैं आपको।
अच्छा, नो प्रॉब्लम, थैंक यू। Okay, welcome you, sir. I know there was a lot of disturbance in the internet that was going on, और मैं यही बोल रही थी कि हमेशा technology 100% it doesn't be with us, but social media is very very important because उसके बिना अभी survival is not possible at all.
That is true. That is true.
I got a feedback yesterday. Somebody was so excited about this class that she sent me a message on my phone WhatsApp that tomorrow, ma'am, my favorite sir is coming, Ashutosh sir. I was like, yes.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet.
Yeah, that's Amanpreet Kaur from Nainital.
Hi, Amanpreet.
Okay, sir. So all it's over to you.
Yeah, could you please give me sharing permission?
Yes. And I'll be here if you need
Sure.
anything. Yeah. Thank you. All the best,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I hope you can see my presentation. You can see the first slide.
Yes.
Is it on the full screen or are you able to see multiple slides? You're seeing single slide, right?
It's a single slide, yeah.
All right, great. So hi, everybody. We had a really nice session last time. To be honest, I'm also really enjoying this process because after many years, I am getting to revise my knowledge also. So thank you to all of you because thanks to this class, I am going back to my old days to relearn all the things that I have learned in the past 25 years of being in advertising, marketing, and communication. It is remembering some old examples that help me understand how a brand is created and how a brand is positioned in customers' minds. And I wanted to share that with you guys today. What I'm doing today is about helping you understand what is brand positioning and brand architecture. You will probably ask me, sir, what has this got to do with social media? In the last session, I introduced social media to you and I explained to you the importance of social media and how it can help any business, service, or individual grow their brand, globally. But the next step is that you need to understand how to create what is known as a brand positioning. A brand positioning is very, very important because if suppose let's take a category of automobiles or even inside that the category of say motorcycles. Each motorcycle brand has its own positioning in the customer's mind. Each brand, even though the advertising, the communication that goes around it, each has a very unique proposition, a unique thing to offer to customers. Product to product, if you compare, if you look at CC or you look at mileage or you look at any of those things, they all seem very similar. 95% of the product is very similar in, say, the motorcycle categories. You will not be able to tell much of a difference here or there. But still, in your mind, you think one brand is better than the other. That is what is known as brand positioning. How has Hero been able to position itself better than, say, TVS? Or how has Enfield done better in bigger motorcycles? They have invested years and years in building a brand positioning and making sure all the advertising, all the communication that they do is basis that brand positioning. And which is why before you progress any further into social media marketing also, it is very important that when you get a brand to handle, you should understand its position. You should understand what does that brand stand for. So to explain what brand positioning really means, I would like to share with you a very, the definition of what brand positioning means. Brand positioning is the process of positioning your brand in the mind of your customers. मतलब how do I make my brand relevant to my customer so that whenever he thinks अच्छा मुझे ये खरीदना है, this is the brand that comes into his mind. More than a tagline or a logo, brand positioning is more a strategy used to set your business apart from the rest. Right? Now, it is a very complex process, but what I am trying to do today is to help you write down brand positioning statements. There is a lot of research, there is a lot of consumer research that goes into arriving at brand positioning, a lot of understanding the product categories, understanding competition, understanding market analysis. So it is a very complicated process that takes a long time. But instead of going into all of that, because that is not relevant, that is somebody else's job, but as social media marketers, it is very important for you to understand the various components of a brand positioning statement. Statement का मतलब क्या हुआ कि एक लाइन में, in one line, how can I define my brand so all aspects of marketing are covered in that one line? That is what is known as the brand positioning statement, right? To give you an example, Tide as detergents. I'm sure all of you have seen Tide detergent ads because on television there are so many ads that come out of Tide. When we think about Tide detergents, we think white clothes. All their ads are about how bright your clothes are. They have not talked about any other proposition. They have stuck to talking about how white we can make your clothes. Now, they have done research behind that to understand that in the Indian consumer psyche, if your white clothes are shining and looking like new, then the customer will think that that detergent is of good quality. वो background में उन्होंने research किया है, पर आपके लिए as social media marketers, that research, everything you can see for this thing. But for you, it is important to know that Tide detergent stands for white clothes because the consumer psyche is. आप खुद समझिए अपने as a customer. अगर आप किसी को बिल्कुल sharp white shirt, clean, एक भी धब्बा नहीं पहने देखते हो तो आप पूछते हो यार नई shirt खरीदिए, right? It could be a shirt he's had for many years, but because it's cleaned so crisply, it looks like he's bought a new product. So that is the consumer insight that they have used, the research that they have done in consumers to understand how customers think and created this positioning around white clothes. Similarly, when we think of Royal Enfield वैसे तो अगर आप देखो तो 100 साल पुरानी मोटरसाइकिल है, टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज थोड़ी बैकवर्ड है compared to all other products. But today it is still one of the most desirable motorcycles in the country and now even globally. Why? Because it has, as a brand, it has gone beyond technology. It has gone to the level where it symbolizes something. अगर आप Enfield के बारे में सोचते हो, you always think of adventure, manliness, somebody who's on an Enfield will be a tough guy, right? So that is the brand perception that has been created with years of advertising. Bullet की जो आवाज आती है, that is supposed to signify that adventure, manliness की boss bullet निकल रही है यहाँ से, right? That is the brand positioning they have created in your mind over years. And that is coming again from customer insight. Customer बोलता है बॉस इतनी भारी गाड़ी है सिर्फ एक असली मर्द चला सकता है, right? That is the kind of research that they have got, and from there they have extrapolated to say, okay, bullet means manliness, means adventure, right? So that is the kind of position that they go after. When we go after, say, these are some of my old brands that have continued even now. When you think of close-up toothpaste, we think of fresh breath, right? They have spent years talking about how you can get fresh breath, and we will talk about this example later because I want to go deeper in this. When we think of Apple phones, we think high-end technology and design. In many ways, some of the Apple phones technologically might not have the same features as Android, but still they are able to command a price in some cases that is double the price of an Android. They are definitely a better design, they're better high-end technology, but feature-wise, they always come with features later than say Android or any other phones, but still in the market, they have such a big brand value, brand positioning, such a strong brand positioning. People are ready to pay double of an Android phone just to get an Apple phone. Then when we think of Sony TV, we think of high-end technology. They just have to say, a baseline says it's a Sony. If you remember that, I don't know how many of you know, they should just say it's a Sony, which meant respect for a brand. That meant the fact that all they had to say was, it's a Sony. It meant high-end technology. Then when we think of Dettol, we think of antiseptic and disinfectant. We think of cleanliness when we think of Dettol, right? These are the positionings that brands have created. So as social media marketers, it is very, very important that you know what does the brand stand for. When I am doing advertising, it is not about just putting an ad out there and अपने आप रिजल्ट्स आते रहेंगे, नहीं, आपको वो कैंपेन डिजाइन करना पड़ता है, right? And therefore for you to understand the brand positioning is extremely, extremely important. The next thing is brand architecture. अब आप बोलेंगे कि अगर हर ब्रांड का पोजीशनिंग है, कई कंपनीज होती हैं जैसे ITC हैं who have multiple brands, how do they manage so many brands? या यहाँ पे आप एग्जांपल देख सकते हैं, there's a brand of Marriott hotels. Within the Marriott hotel brands, they have multiple sub brands. Each brand, so they are all hotels or small hotels or motels or whatever, but they have each managed to stay under the Marriott umbrella, but still build a unique identity for themselves. Sheraton, for example, is Marriott's high end of hotels, right? But then you have Marriott, executive stay, Marriott Rewards, Marriott Resident in Marriott, or JW Marriott. All of those, they have other sub brands, each of which have created a unique positioning also for themselves. So brand architecture refers to the organization of different brands within a company. Matlab, how do I position each of the brands so that वो दूसरे brand को नुकसान ना करे? It doesn't harm the brand positioning of another brand. So brand architecture is having unique brand positionings, but also having a positioning in a way so that the other brands in my portfolio or in my company do not get affected. It creates the basis for customers to relate with the various offerings of the business. It also provides structure for brand identity, design, development, and value proposition. Now, because we do this architecture, we know that there is a certain kind of communication that I can do and cannot do, because there is certain communication I do, it can harm some other brand of my own only. So we build a brand positioning so that it doesn't impact brand architecture. Anyways, brand architecture per se, I just wanted to introduce you so that you know what it is. It is not absolutely important as brand positioning is, but you should know as marketers what brand architecture stands for. Why is all of this important? Because you need to tailor your advertising and marketing campaigns to unique customer segments. Dettol, for example, or let's just stick with Marriott. If I'm talking about JW Marriott, or if I'm talking about Sheraton hotels, immediately in my mind, I know this will be a high-end traveler. This will, because the products offerings, the kind of services, the kind of brand positioning they have, this only talks to the very high-end traveler or high-end executive traveler, right? This is not a small family looking for a weekend holiday. Of course, if they can afford it, why not? But it's not for somebody who's, say, middle class or lower middle class looking for a small holiday stay. No, it's very high end. At the same time, I have another brand called Marriott Hotels and Inns, which is a smaller brand for people who are looking for economy solutions for hotels, right? So when I'm creating my ads, I need to make sure that the proposition works with each of those audiences, right? So it is very important for me to tailor make my advertising by knowing what the brand positioning, brand architecture is. It is also becoming easier to target specific audiences during campaigns. It reduces your marketing cost by creating an effective marketing strategy. For instance, by cross-selling. What do we mean by cross-selling? I'm sure some of you know, but I'm saying if both JW Marriott and Sheraton are talking to the same customer, I can say that if I have a JW Marriott hotel in one city and a Sheraton hotel in another city, I can give the customer offer saying, if today you are here and tomorrow you are there, I can give you a package deal, right? Or if you're staying here, next time I will give you a voucher for that other hotel. So you can, if you visit there, you can also try out that hotel. So what happens is you're staying within the same corporate brand. Profitability of the corporate brand is maintained, as well as I am helping promote the other brand in my portfolio. Yeah. Then the next point is create a strategic identity and articulate the message to staff. Sometimes when you have multiple products and brands in a single company's portfolio, you also need to tell your own employees what your brand stands for and who your customers are. So to write it down and define your brand architecture and your brand positioning not only helps you identify customers, but also tells your employees what you stand for. What is your job? Who are you targeting? Who is your customer? How you should approach that marketing. All of that communication becomes easy because you write it down and helps create a direction for your team. Matlab, if I am making, say, a brand like, if I have a brand like Colgate, one brand of Colgate is talking to only people who are looking at, say, natural solutions. So if you know, Colgate also makes a natural, like Ayurvedic type of toothpaste. The other toothpaste that they make with salt and those kind of things. Now, both are Colgate brand per se, but I am now with my natural and Ayurvedic toothpaste. The thing that I know is that my customer is more prone to buy natural products. He is more prone to buying Ayurvedic products. So the next time I do communication, or if I want to take that product and create, say, another product with it. So if I want to, say, create natural Colgate mouthwash, I will know that the benefits that that customer is seeking will also be important for the brand mouthwash. Similarly, if there is somebody who's looking for just a salt wala solution, where he's looking for a cheaper alternative for teeth cleaning, then everything that I create in that portfolio or for that brand needs to take that brand promise into the next variant. I hope ये सब heavy ना हो रहा हो आप लोगों के लिए, but it is just a broad. So you can ask me more questions at the end, where I will help you understand this better. If you have any doubts, please clarify it. because like I said, it is important as social media marketers for you to understand this broadly when you go into the market, right? The other thing it allows you to do is set structures that facilitate future expansion, diversification, and differentiation. So just like I explained to you, and protect brand equity and capitalize on brand strength. That is the last point. Like I explained, the salt customer is different. The natural toothpaste customer is different. At no point should we write communication so that it damages the equity of another product. So I will never do Ayurvedic toothpaste advertising saying सिर्फ नमक वाले toothpaste से क्या फायदा, आप natural product use कीजिए. नहीं, I can never do that kind of advertising because that will harm another brand that is in my portfolio. I can never do that. So by defining the brand positioning and defining the brand architecture, I put in place all these rules for my marketing team, right? Why is it important important to our class? So I've covered these points mostly, but just to let you know, you need to know the identity. You need to identify your main brand proposition. The positioning statement is important because you need to know your main brand proposition. आप करते क्या हैं? आपका product करता क्या है? Right? You need to know your specific target audience. Specific target audience का मतलब it is more psychologically you need to know your customer. You need to know demographically. Demographically का मतलब होता है उनका age, sex, कहाँ रहते हैं, क्या situation है, उनका financial situation, all those kind of things. Education कितना है, those are the demographic profiles. So there is also psychographically. Psychographically का मतलब how do they think and relate to brands, right? So those are the kind of things that you need to know about your customer before you start becoming marketing people. So as a social media marketer, one of your biggest tools will be research. The more you try to understand your customer, the better you try to understand what does a customer like. That is more that you will be, the better your advertising campaigns will be as you go ahead. Understanding the psychology of your customer is very, very, very important. Read more about your customers. Read as if you can get hold of research. Ask your clients, do you have any customer research? Can you please share some customer research with us? And they will tell you, okay, this this is what we did. You will see how people are reacting to brands or how people are reacting to brand categories. Why is it important in their life? Knowing that will help you create better campaigns, better performing ads, better performing strategies, right? You also need to know what is the problem you are solving for the customer. Sometimes it is not very simple what the customer is actually looking for. Why do a lot of people, for example, choose to buy a certain kind of product? It is not necessarily the feature that the product delivers, but the overall impression that that product will deliver. That is important. So you need to understand how is the customer reacting to that product, right? So for example, let's go back to mobile phones. I am an Android phone lover. I don't have anything against Apple phones. I just feel they are overpriced. But as my personal perception, I feel anybody who is choosing to buy an Apple phone, knowing that, and this is my personal statement, guys, I have no affiliations or anything, so disclaimer, but I'm saying my personal perception is that if you're ready to spend 60,000-70,000 rupees for a mobile phone, for the features that you can get in an Android phone for 30,000 rupees, there has to be an extra reason why you're ready to pay that 30,000 rupees. What is that reason? Is it because you want to reflect a certain status? Is it you want to reflect a certain degree of technology know-how? What is that reason? What is that extra reason that people are buying this brand for beyond the features? So Android phone, Apple phone, दोनों वही काम करते हैं. But मैं इसके लिए double price क्यों pay कर रहा हूँ? What is the psychological reason? That will help you and create better ads, better brand position, and make better communication strategies as you go forward. And you need to know how your product is solving that problem. So how is my product able to generate that 30,000 rupees ka premium in the customer's mind? What is it that the customer sees? Because then I can make sure I focus on that point in all my advertising, which makes the customer pay that extra amount of money. And this is the core of all communication strategy. Now, this is where I think I had requested Pooja that I wanted this session to be a little more interactive in nature, because I want to work with you to build a brand positioning together, right?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to do an example of a brand positioning in front of you, step by step, so that you guys get an idea of how it works. Then I want one more brand to come. I will put a brand ad and you will help me create the brand positioning for that brand. Does that work? Okay, so let's go ahead. So I've chosen this brand. I think this is relevant to everybody today, which is why I've chosen it. You all must be using this brand today closely. If not this brand, a similar brand you must be using, but it is a brand that is very common in use in India. In most of our households, everybody has some product variant or the other. If not the antiseptic, then the soap or the hand wash or something or the other. Now they have shower gels. So there are lots of product variants of Dettol, but the brand positioning in your mind remains the same. This has so Dettol has one core product which has multiple variants, like I just explained. It has a soap, it has a hand wash, it has a shower gel, it has a house disinfectant, it has everything. Yeah, but each of them carry forward the legacy of the main brand, protection from germs. The reason you buy any product of Dettol is because you believe it will protect you from germs. They haven't gone away from that positioning for over 100 years. They have stuck to that proposition and said, I provide protection from germs. That is their main brand positioning. So building the brand positioning, asking the right questions. So before you write the main proposition down or the brand positioning down, you need to say, what is your purpose? How does the product make the world a better place? Anybody wants to take a guess about what should we write in one line? How Dettol makes the world a better place? Anybody?
Anybody wants to answer? Maybe they can raise hand and we can allow them to talk. Okay, we have hands raising now.
Okay.
So let's take Jyotsna Garg. Okay, Jyotsna, you can talk now.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Jyotsna, tell me.
Yeah, hi Ashutosh. You have a very nice session. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
My pleasure.
And I think the answer is like having less germs.
Okay, fantastic. Really nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. So yes, she's absolutely correct. The answer, defining your purpose is, it protects us from germs that affect us and our family's health. Right? That is what is the purpose of Dettol as a brand.
Okay, who would like to answer?
No, this is the answer of the question. I'm coming to the next one.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. So that's what Jyotsna said, and that's absolutely correct. It protects us from germs that could affect us and our family's health. Next is question number 2 in defining your purpose. What problem are you solving for your customers? So it will be very close to the answer Jyotsna gave, but this has to be from the customer's perspective. What is the problem you are solving for your customer? Anybody wants to give an answer?
Sahil Jain. I'm allowing Sahil to talk.
Okay.
Sahil.
Hello.
Yes, Sahil, tell me.
Hello, sir. Thank you for this amazing session, first of all.
Okay,
And
I'm happy
so,
to join.
yes. So the question is what problems are you solving for your customers, right?
Yes.
So for assuming me as a customer, it will solve problems like it will keep me safe from germs, first of all.
Yes.
Secondly, this brand is a very old brand and very very famous brand, like reputed brand. So I have my trust on this. So
Very good.
yes, sir. So
Very good answer, Sahil. Absolutely bang on. आप सब तो already marketers बन चुके हो.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Customers are worried about the health of their families and their exposure to the germs, right? So that is the problem you're solving with your brand of germs. That customers are worried. That is their worry. They're living in constant worry कि मुझे ये germ ना लग जाए, मुझे ये infection ना लग जाए. उनका वो worry आप solve करो. That is what the purpose of this brand is, and that is the problem you are solving for your customers, right? Next question in defining your purpose. How does your product solve the customer's problem? So this is again very close to both Jyotsna's and Sahil's answers, but I would like to hear one of you say, how does the product solve the customer's problems? Can you explain that to me? One of you.
Let's see. Ishan, I'll allow Ishan to talk. Ishan, आप बोल सकते हैं. ईशान, आप अनम्यूट करके बोल सकते हैं. I think he's facing. Okay, let's take Dr. Satakshi Sharma. Okay, I'll allow her to talk.
Right.
Dr. Satakshi Sharma.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hi, doctor.
In this pandemic situation, Dettol is very much required by everyone to sanitize themselves or protect themselves from the germs.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it's solving the major problem in this time.
Absolutely, absolutely correct, doctor. आपसे बेहतर कोई कौन जाने इस चीज को. हम सब we are very thankful for everything you do for us, and yes, you're absolutely correct. So the brand talks about its antiseptic effect. Am I correct, doctor? The brand specifically talks about its antiseptic effect, which can eliminate 99% of the germs that affect your health. So all of you must be reading all of this in the communication. That this is what there is a reason why they are telling you this, because if you see the progression of how the questions are coming, there is a reason they answer all these questions that a customer can have in his or her mind, because there is a reason why the structure has been built, because you want to answer all the doubts, all the questions that a customer might have in their mind, which is why this is so important, right? The other thing, the next thing is section 2, which is positioning your brand. What makes you different? I think Sahil covered this a little bit in his answer, but what makes you different as a brand? Does anybody want to answer this? What makes Dettol different as a brand compared to anybody else?
Okay, we have Zaid Sheikh. Zaid, आप बोल सकते हैं. Zaid, I think he's trying to talk, but आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
Okay, must be
Okay, let's
unmute.
take Valerie Lobo.
Valerie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Valerie, I can hear you.
Yeah, I would say it's a tried and trusted brand for over 100 years.
Fantastic, Valerie. That's really good. That's fantastic answer, because it's really the heritage of the brand, an expert that is even used by doctors. Now, what I'm going to do at the end of this process is show you an ad and try to pick up the cues that the brand is trying to give you. It says it's the heritage of the brand, just like Valerie just said. It's a brand we like. My parents, their parents, everybody. I mean, since my childhood, I've only heard of Dettol, right? I mean, of course, there are other brands, but it is something that is a long 100-year heritage of this brand that we all trust as an expert. So when the first thing we think in our mind when we are looking at cleaning something for germs is Dettol hai kya?
Right, sir. जैसे एक वो बन जाता है कि disinfectant means Dettol.
Absolutely.
Toothpaste means something. So that people start talking about that only.
So there is another example that exists in the world, which is a very common thing we all say, which is यार ये जाके 2 page Xerox करा. Xerox is actually a brand. It is not a process. The brand has become so much a part of a process. The actual thing is called photocopying. Please photocopy my 2 pages. Instead of saying photocopy 2 pages, you said, please, can you Xerox these 2 pages? The brand has become the identity itself, right? That is the power of building a brand. So Dettol, when you think of disinfecting, cleaning germs, it is the expert that is positioned in our brain. And it is positioned in our brain even through the advertising. Because in the advertising, the brand gives you subtle clues that this is even trusted by doctors. So in the end, when I show you the ad, see who's the doctor in that ad and what are they trying to say and why are they saying what they are saying. You have to learn to become as marketers, unravel the brand communication. मतलब उसके layers क्या हैं, उस ad में क्या-क्या कह रहे हैं, कैसे कह रहे हैं, visually क्या कह रहे हैं, verbally क्या कह रहे हैं, उन्होंने छोटा क्या sample मतलब एक logo डाला है, icon डाला है, वो क्यों डाला है? Those are the things you need to start looking at as a marketing person, because the more you start analyzing communication, the more you start analyzing the ads of large brands, especially because large brands like Dettol, large brands like Bajaj, large brands like Hero, large brands like Apple, these big brands spend a lot of money in research to pick up these cues so that they can put it in their advertising. Because that is the kind of questions you want to answer for the customer and create your brand position. Yeah. So it's a very important and a very complex process that needs to be done properly. Yeah. Okay. It's also important to answer this question. It is, why do you do what you do? So why does Dettol do that as a brand? Now, this is part of more, it is not only advertising related, but if you look at a brand as a whole, as social media marketers, you will also do certain aspects of public relations, PR. You will generate PR for the brand, right? So you will get bloggers to write about your brand. You will get influencers to write about your brand. You will get some celebrities to talk about your brand, right? But you don't expect a celebrity or an influencer to say, अच्छा मैंने साफ किया, मेरा ये clean हो गया, हाथ बिल्कुल disinfect हो गया. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes you need to give a larger message to society of why as a brand we do what we do. As a company, why we do as we do, right? For example, one of the biggest corporate brands which has a very, very good position in people's mind is the Tata Group in India. They have this unique positioning in their mind of being people who are very, very socially aware and socially participate with, in the society. So for example, Tatas will, help villages start a business, help lift people up from the economic, this thing. That is the character of that group, that they are not only manufacturers and sellers of products, but they want to uplift society wherever they go, whatever they do. They want to lift the society and help people become, more affluent for themselves. So therefore, that helps in the communication of PR, largely talking about the company, largely talking about what is the benefit of why these brands do what they do. So a lot of times you will see brands will say, for every 5 rupees you spend with us, we will donate 1 rupee to somebody else, to a charity of, a children's charity. Why are they doing that? Right? They are doing that because they want to position in the customer's mind that they are a brand that is also conscious of what is happening in society. That it is not a just buying and selling transaction that they do with society, but they actually help society and they make a difference in society, right? So for example, Pepsi talks about how they regenerate more water than they consume while making colas. Very important, right? So it's a corporate message that they want to give. So that is why you want to look at a brand and what is its role in society. And this is where the positioning of the brand comes. Anybody wants to answer after this explanation? What do you think Dettol does as a brand for society?
Guys, you need to raise hands. Yeah, okay. So would you like to choose who?
Go ahead, Pooja, you can choose.
Okay, let's take Abhishek Kumar. Okay,
Hi, Abhishek.
आप बोल सकते हैं. Abhishek, unmute कीजिए, please.
Hello.
Hello, Abhishek.
Yes, sir.
बताइए.
All are good.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay,
No,
let's
sir.
take
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean. Sean was. Okay, Sean, you can talk now. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, actually, Dettol gives you peace of mind, and
Okay.
It has a history of trust that it has developed over the years.
Fantastic answer, Sean. Absolutely correct. If I was to say in a one line what Sean is trying to say is because we believe in keeping your family safe and healthy. That is why we do. As a brand, we want to keep your family safe and healthy. That is what the brand does, right? Next question, positioning your brand. What is the profile of your customer, right? Anybody wants to explain this? Now, here I'm not looking at saying, sir, everybody uses Dettol. I understand. But now you are a marketing professional. You have to think like a marketing person. The definition of your customer needs to understand the environment of your customer, his needs, what will his economic situation be, why does he or she need Dettol, and what is their are they educated, what are their surroundings like. You have to have a bigger picture. So I'm expecting a slightly longish answer when I'm trying to understand the profile of your customer. Anybody wants to make a guess out here?
Okay, let's take Amanpreet Kaur.
Hi, Amanpreet.
Amanpreet, unmute कीजिए, please.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Amanpreet.
Thank you so much, first of all, for taking this session, which is very beneficial for us. And really, I'm learning a lot from your sessions.
Thank you so much, Amanpreet.
Okay, if we talk about the profile of customers, it is quite similar to the CRM. As first of all, we choose up the customer's need, understand customer's need, accordingly, its profession, its requirement, then we select the product and provide them the best solution.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. So you want to tell me what is this customer? What is his profile or her profile that we can build from here as marketing people?
Yes, as what like day-to-day products are used by the customers and providing them best solution.
Okay, let me answer that for you, Amanpreet. Thank you for your answer.
Oh, thank you so much.
So if I look at the profile of my customer, somebody last time said that they are worried about their health, right? So this is how do you build a positioning as a marketing person in your customer's health? You need to create a picture of that customer. Why is he worried about germs? A customer is most likely exposed to a very unhealthy environment. ज़्यादा pollution है घर में, ज़्यादा dust आता है, सफाई आसपास इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं है. Where kids are going to play, that might not be very clean. So they are worried about the environment. They are worried because they want to destroy the germs. That means there must be germs that they're trying to destroy, right? So first and foremost, they're obviously living in an environment that is not very clean, very safe, or they are living in a place where they are prone to injuries, right? So you use Dettol on injuries and stuff like that, right? So who are the ones who are more prone to injuries? It can be children. Children play, they get scratches, they get some injury, they will get, so that is the environment. They're probably living in an unhealthy environment where they are not so worried about anything else, but like I should stay clean, I should protect my family, and they're looking for a way to protect the family. They're probably, now we say, okay, if they are living in such an unhealthy environment, then they're probably in a middle class family, because most middle class societies do not have 100% hygiene around them, right? So the people want to keep this, especially the tendencies to keep your house clean, but the outside environment does not really matter. लोग घर तो साफ रखेंगे, बाहर पूरा फेंक देंगे, right? So that is the mentality. So you have to think of it as a marketer and say, of course, inside the house everything is safe, but when the children or the family is stepping out, there might be dirt, etc., etc. But therefore, if I create a profile, it might be middle class families who are living in societies in a place that might not be necessarily clean. They could be living across India. They are definitely educated to some extent because they understand the concept of germs. They understand the need for hygiene. They understand the need to have a liquid in the house to keep themselves clean. So somebody who's not educated and does not understand germs, hygiene, antiseptic value, will not use Dettol in the house. I mean, I remember I have some friends in my childhood who would say, agar chot lagi, while they're playing, they would pick up some matti and rub it on there saying, "Arey, theek ho jayega." People have different ways of dealing with this injury. They might not necessarily be very educated in understanding that matti is not very good for you. You should use Dettol and clean your wound properly, otherwise it can get septic, etc., etc. Right? Or if I need to use Dettol in the poche ka pani, right? Why do people do that? Because they want to keep their house clean, right? So they have to be educated to a certain extent for them to be conscious of doing that. And of course, they are extremely hygiene conscious. So by saying all this, has an image been created in your mind of who that customer is, right? Slowly, there is an image forming in your mind. That is what is brand positioning. That is about, I have now understood why the brand does what it does, what problems does it solve, who does it solve for. Slowly, like an onion, I am peeling the layers to see what the brand is all about, right? Next question is, you need to think of one person in the family or one person in a unit who this product appeals the most to. Who is most likely to go to the shop, pick up this product and put it into the shopping basket? Can anybody answer this for me? Who in the family is most likely to pick up this product from the shelf, put it in the shopping basket and make a payment for it?
Okay, a lot of hands raising. I think everybody knows the answer, but I'll allow Rahul Singla to answer. Rahul, unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Rahul.
जी बहुत बढ़िया सेशन चल रहा है आपका, and we are really enjoying your session.
Thank you, Rahul.
It reminded me of my MBA days also. So I actually raised my hand for the previous question, but I'll just answer this one also.
No problem.
The family, in the family, I think the decision maker, most likely the parents.
Okay, good. Amongst the parents?
Amongst the parents, yeah.
Who in the parents? Parents और मम्मी डैडी दोनों होते हैं.
So as far as I mean,
Okay, so
this,
let me
this
answer
particular
that for
product
you.
is concerned.
I understand. To just answer your question specifically, Rahul, because we are marketing people, we have to look at it as marketing people. We cannot talk to parents per se as a whole. This product talks specifically to mothers. Because if you look across Indian families, mothers are the main decision makers for hygiene products for the household. Yeah, fathers all make bigger decisions like कार कौन सी खरीदनी है, वो भी आजकल बच्चे करते हैं, but by the way. But fathers have financial decisions. When it comes to the house, that is the domain of the mother. She is the one who decides all the hygiene products that will come into the household. Even if she doesn't use it herself, but maybe she has house help or whoever is using the product. But when it comes to cleaning utensils, when it comes to cleaning the house, when it clean, and if this can be even a working mother, I'm not saying this is a housewife alone. Even in a working house situation, in a working mother situation, it is always, usually research has proven that these kind of decisions are mostly taken by mothers or by the lady of the house, because she decides how the house is maintained and kept. That decision is not in the hands of the man of the house, right? So now you're seeing that who's your target audience. You need to talk to the mother, you need to appeal to the lady of the house. That is who your customer is, because she is the primary key decision maker in this process, right? And like I said, research has shown across housewives, working mothers, all of that, it is always the mother in the house. And think about your own household when you're making these decisions, right? Who is the boss? Mom is always the boss, right? So that's the way even brands think, because they know this has to be addressed to mothers. You should also be very, very aware of what your other brands are, right? Which other brands do the same thing? A very easy answer, very easy question to answer. So let's see who can come up with these answers. They are very, very easy actually.
Okay, Savri Hasija. Savri, you can answer. Unmute yourself and answer here.
Hi, Savri.
Savri, unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Savri.
Thank you for the great session.
I'm very happy you're enjoying.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think Savlon is the brand.
Very good. Any others you can think of? Okay. No. Savlon. All right. Great. No, you're absolutely right. There is Savlon. There are also other cat products which do the same thing. So Boroplus is an antiseptic cream. There's Germoline, there's Neosporin, there is Himalaya has its own antiseptic, Dabur has its own antiseptic. So these are the major brands in the category. They all do the same, they all do the same thing, right? But what do they do? That is unique. What do they all talk about? That is unique. And यहाँ पे कहानी में twist आएगा अभी, right? Because they are all antiseptic products. But what do they do that is different from Dettol? Can anybody tell me?
Okay, let's take Mrs. Jasmine. M. Jasmine.
Hello, Mrs. Jasmine.
You can unmute yourself. I think she's not able to unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, I'm Jacinta Jasmine from
Yeah,
Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, hi, Jasmine. Tell me.
Yes. It was mother, because if father went to buy a product, means he will choose without any motive.
Absolutely, that's a very good answer.
Yes, without any motive, choosing by seeing the color or just like that. But if the mother went to shop means she will think again and again and choose the correct product which she needs for her family.
Very good answer, Jasmine. Of course, you're speaking from experience. So that shows you are the target audience for this brand, I think. So very good answer. Thank you so much.
Okay, but unfortunately, Jasmine, you have answered the previous question.
Which is also good, no problem. I think she's given a very good answer, and it puts up positioning better in her people's mind, because she's absolutely right. Men will not probably think about the things that women think when they're buying products for the house. They are more perceptive. Men hate shopping. Most men hate shopping. They will go in and out, pick up the first thing and come out. A woman will spend time because she will want to make the right decision for the family. A very good answer.
Okay,
but coming back to this question, what do the other brands do?
So let's Pretty Bansal. Pretty Bansal, you can talk now.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Preeti, tell me.
Sir, what do they do that is unique? This answer?
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, they help us to keep us disinfectant. Like,
Yeah, Preeti, disinfectant तो सारे ही हैं, but ये जो बाकी के products करते हैं काम, what do they do which is different from Dettol?
Sir, I think advertising.
Okay, great. Let me answer the question for you, Preeti. All the brands, in especially Savlon, which is one of the biggest brands out there, talk about antiseptic effect, but they also talk about how they don't sting when applied. मतलब जलते नहीं है. अगर आपने डिटॉल लगाया है अपने हाथ पे एंटीसेप्टिक तो वो जलता है ना, वो स्टिंग करता है. All these other brands talk about they don't sting. Savlon especially talks about how it doesn't sting. And in fact, Borolin and all those guys just say it's a cream that will give you smoothen your skin and all that kind of stuff. But they all talk about the fact that they are better than Dettol. They're positioning themselves. Instead of creating a positioning of their own, they are actually trying to talk about a benefit that the main brand has, which is Dettol. They don't sting when applied. Right? However, and this is where the kahani mein twist comes. What gives Dettol an upper hand or gives us an edge? Anybody wants to answer that? What gives Dettol the edge? Or why is Dettol more successful than all these other brands? मतलब we are ready to take the risk of getting a sting. मतलब जलने के लिए हम तैयार हैं, पर क्यों तैयार हैं? Why do we accept a product that hurts us to use it?
Okay, Subhadra Roy, you can talk. Unmute yourself and talk. Okay, let's take Ishan. Ishan, you can talk. Sahil Jain.
Ma'am, can I talk?
Yes, please.
Okay, so like as a customer, like the trust on Dettol and the like, मैं बहुत टाइम से, अगर मैं कस्टमर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचूं तो मुझको एक अपर हैंड ये इसलिए मिलता है क्योंकि मेरे को डेटॉल पे बहुत टाइम से ट्रस्ट है, एंड सेकेंडली उसका एक लेगेसी है जो बहुत टाइम से मेंटेन्ड है. अगर कुछ भी कभी भी लगा तो सबसे पहले दिमाग में डेटॉल ही आता है.
वेरी गुड, बट वो पॉइंट हम ऑलरेडी कवर कर चुके हैं. मैं प्रोडक्ट के यूज के बारे में पूछ रहा था. व्हाई डज पीपल थिंक दैट डिटॉल जो जलता है, जो लगाने पे भी पेन करता है और बाकी सब पेन नहीं करते हैं, वही काम करते हैं, they do it as well as Dettol. But why do people still believe in Dettol? Like जलने के बावजूद, why are we still believing in Dettol? That is what
the because people are using it from quite long and उनको उसका story पसंद है. Like मुझे
and this absolutely, Sahil, your answer is absolutely correct. The trust is obviously there, right? Absolutely there. I equally trust Savlon. It comes from a big company, etc., etc. And this is where understanding your customer is very, very important. जो आपको एक insight मैं अभी देने वाला हूं, वो एक research से निकली हुई चीज है, जो अगर ब्रांड अपने कस्टमर्स के साथ रिसर्च करेगी, उनको जानने की कोशिश करेगी, and to understand the true motivation and how customers think, right? So all this while I've been trying to tell you that you need to know how your customers think when you do your advertising, right? And this insight is very, very important, because actually users don't believe that the product works if it doesn't sting. Do you understand what I'm saying? All the other brands keep claiming that they don't sting, they are better for your skin, they do all those things. But जो customer है, इतने सालों से in their brain, the only thing that they have in their brain is that if the product doesn't burn on my hand, when I'm putting it on the wound, if it doesn't burn, it cannot work. मेरे को लगता ही नहीं वो काम कर रहा है अगर वो जलन नहीं करेगा. So even though all the other brands can keep talking about that, जो customer सोचता है वो अलग चीज है, which is why he believes in Dettol. And after all these years, Dettol can also make a product which doesn't sting or doesn't burn, right? But they don't do that. Why? Because they know that the customer wants, थोड़ी जलन होगी तो काम जरूर करा होगा उसने, मुझे फीलिंग आई है कि वो काम कर रहा है, right? That is customer insight. That is coming from research. That is coming from understanding how your customer thinks. Customer wants कि बॉस डिटेक्ट एंटीसेप्टिक है तो थोड़ा जलना चाहिए. To be honest, Dettol, Savlon, all of them work equally. They are all good answers to the problem. Savlon is equally as good as Dettol is. But because of this one thing that is stuck in the customer's mind, that jalna zaruri hai for it to be effective, Dettol remains a brand that will always be bigger than all the other brands. That is the power of understanding brand positioning, unraveling the brand positioning. Right? Next question is, what is the brand personality? Now, what do we mean by brand personality? And why is it important? Brand personality का मतलब होता है कि अगर ये डिटॉल की बॉटल अभी इसी वक्त एक इंसान बन जाएगी, तो वो इंसान की क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होंगे? Do you understand what I mean? Why is it important? Because humans by nature can relate better to another human being. And if you make a human aspect of your brand, if you humanize your brand as it's called, people will be able to relate to it better. Also, you need to have a singular personality. कल आप इमेजिन कर सकते हो कि बुलेट चलाते हुए कोई हंसता हुआ लड़का या बिल्कुल फेमिनिन काइंड ऑफ पर्सन इज राइडिंग अ बुलेट मोटरसाइकिल. You cannot imagine that, right? You cannot imagine that for this thing, because that personality of that brand is manly, tough, rough, that kind of position, brand personality. It is a tough brand. Similarly, Dettol has to have a personality, some characteristics that it needs to have. What are those personality characteristics? Does anybody want to take a guess?
Okay, Zaid, you can talk.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Zaid.
Sir, here the care is there. The Dettol denotes care. The other thing is वो germ से लड़ता है. तो
Very good.
somebody which है ना germ से लड़े और care करे, ये दो चीज उसके अंदर आ जाएंगी सर.
बहुत बढ़िया Zaid, बहुत बढ़िया आंसर, बहुत बढ़िया आंसर, absolutely correct. So if you elaborate what Zaid is saying, Dettol has to be looked at as an expert. All of us know that it is the expert. The reason we think of, अरे ये तो doctors भी use करते हैं, because it's an expert. We know doctors will only use brands that are best in the category. and they will use the one that works best. So if an expert trusts it, the product itself must be an expert. So the characteristics of the brand in the advertising. Like when I create manliness for Royal Enfield, I need to create an expert for it all. It is of course informed, मतलब educated है, informed है, because they know क्या germs आ रहे हैं, क्या germs नहीं आ रहे हैं, उसका chemical nature they will keep changing, because if something new is coming, then they will learn to fight with that. So right now, I don't know, just about, I think 4-5 days ago, there was a press release from Dettol talking about how they are now trying to discover how to fight COVID, right? Because they cannot clean COVID completely. There are other COVID strains and stuff like that that they are capable of cleaning. But this strain of COVID, they are not able to clean. But they have released a press release saying, yes, we are working on a way to find how to clean COVID. Right? So that is important, because they have to constantly maintain the fact that they are aware of what is happening in the market, because they are the experts. They have to tell people that don't worry, we are working on this, we will find a solution for this problem. So anytime there is a germs related problem, you will always see Dettol come out and say, yes, I will find a solution for you. That is what the brand stands for. It is diligent. Diligent मतलब जो वो कहता है वो करता है, ठीक है? So मतलब वो कहता है germ clean करेगा तो वो germ clean करेगा, and you know, because that is how the trust is built with the other thing. And it is hard working. मतलब it will challenge itself against any odds. कोई भी germ आ जाए, Dettol will find a way to fight it, right? Like COVID has come, now they are trying to find a way to fight COVID. That is the brand personality. Is this clear? It is very important to understand this. Now, we have answered all these questions, right? We've answered all these questions. I just want to ask any of you, because I'm going to now go into the the positioning statement category part of this presentation. So I want at this point, anybody who have any doubt, I want to ask any question. Let's just take 2-3 questions, clarify that before we go into the next section. Any questions from anybody?
Guys, you can send in your questions in Q&A. And although this has been the most interactive session so far, and I'm expecting all our classes will become all the more interactive. And if required, they need to show, like if you give them a homework, of course, and you want them to show it, that can also be done, I guess. Like people
Sure.
are surely doing their work at home. Okay, so I have a question. What should be the key elements that are to be kept in mind to attain high customer satisfaction in purchase behavior, pre-purchase behavior?
What are the key elements that to be kept in mind to attain high customer satisfaction in pre-purchase behavior? थोड़ा question मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया. Is it possible?
कि वो I think वो बोलना चाह रहे हैं कि वो खरीदने से पहले ही एक I think it's not about satisfaction, the confidence जो एक हमारे customer में आ जाए खरीदने से पहले ही, that okay, I can go and buy this product.
So when it comes to social media, like I told you the last time we had a session, that word of mouth is very important. You cannot have negative reviews. You cannot have people having bad experiences with your product, right? You have to learn to minimize that. You need to get more positive word of mouth around your product, especially on social media. You need to have a very good corporate image. As a company, you need to be seen as somebody who is socially responsible, who is committed to the to developing solutions for whatever product category you are in. So like I explained, Dettol has come out and talked about how they are looking for a solution for COVID, right? So they have taken it as a corporate responsibility to try and solve that problem, right? You need to also make sure that your product does what it claims. You cannot make claims of a product because customers are the smartest people on the planet. Never forget that. Customers are the smartest people. अगर आप कुछ claim करेंगे and your product does not deliver that, customers will catch it in 2 days. Never lie to customers. Always make claims that are true, and always make sure you talk to the correct target audience.
Right.
Yeah, those are the most important things.
Okay, another somebody saying, sir, the brand personality of Dettol and Savlon will be same as they portray similar virtues, or it should be different?
They will actually be the same, except you will add another perspective to the Savlon brand, which means that it will not be harsh. Savlon is very non-harsh in its way of approaching things. It will be more friendlier as a brand. So there is a difference between being an expert, confident, versus being and being harsh, in the sense I am ready to deliver your message in a harsh manner. Versus Savlon is saying, "Arey nahi, make sure it." So it will be slightly, it won't be harsh in its nature. So there will be another aspect to Savlon that Dettol will not have. So there will be certain traits which are similar, but there will be additional to Savlon which are non-harsh, which is more, how do I say, more caring, or less astringent, as it's called. Right?
Okay, I think we can proceed.
Okay, so great. Thanks, Pooja. Moving on, now we are going to build the positioning statement. Can all of you read all this text?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. This is the component of our ideal brand positioning statement. So you have, as I've put blank spaces on the top, I have put brand name, the brand personality, the product category, for brand target audience, problem statement, brand promise, and brand support. These are all the questions we have answered so far. Now we will create one statement that defines everything Dettol stands for, right? So going forward, let's talk about the brand name. I don't think anybody needs to have any confusion here. What is the brand personality? We've gone through the brand personalities and arrived at all of that, right? Clearly, Dettol is the expert. We have always seen that as being positioned as an expert. What is the product category? It's an antiseptic germ killer. So can you see the statement is being formed now? Dettol, that expert antiseptic germ killer. That is the first line of your brand positioning statement. For who? Who is your target audience? Who is your target? So now in the brand positioning statement, it doesn't need to be as elaborate as what we've arrived at in our previous statement, right? But for our brand target audience, for this communication, we will say that Dettol, the expert antiseptic germ killer for mothers. Now we will define what is the problem statement. What is the problem that the mothers are facing, who worry about the health of the family. Brand promises helps you protect your family from germs because its antiseptic action is trusted by doctors for years. So after all that research, all that unraveling, this is the one statement that defines what Dettol stands for as a brand, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one ad of Dettol, okay? And I want you all to pick up the cues of how each of these points is being covered in that ad. Dettol, the expert antiseptic germ killer for mothers who worry about the health of family, helps you protect your family from germs because its antiseptic action is trusted by doctors for years. This is the brand positioning of Dettol. Now to see the ad. So please just increase the volume so you can hear the audio on the ad. Right? I'll just play it one more.
So
Yes.
I think there is no volume from your end.
What?
There is no volume in the video. Sound in the video.
Oh, okay. Surprised, but I can hear it clearly.
Allow computer audio if that's an option.
Can you do it at your end?
No, I won't be able to do it because it's on your system. No worries. Maybe you can continue with this and I'll find the same advertisement and then I'll play it from my side.
Yeah, one second.
Okay.
Okay, we'll share this ad with you. My problem is I have another ad basis which we will do the positioning of the next thing. So I'm worried how you guys will be able to hear that.
If you can just share the link or the video with me, I'll play it from this side.
Okay. One sec, I'll stop sharing for 1 minute. Can you still see my screen? No.
Yes, I can. We can see your screen. So when you share your screen, it says allow computer audio. Maybe if you'll remove the screen share and try it again, it will give a pop-up at the bottom.
Yeah, sure. Let me just try
So
to
this is
find
how
the
technology
controls.
is need to keep trying to explore new things.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't find my controls on it.
Okay, wait. Just a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Now you will be able to start it again. Okay, so here we have our Vidyadan website open. Here we have the ad now.
Can you share the controls again, please, Pooja? 1 second.
Okay, okay, here you go. So in this new normal of COVID situation, we all are learning so many new things. Applications are adding and the new technology is adding every day. We have your...
I think...
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should be able to hear it now.
चलो बाय सी यू बाय मेरे घर में खरोंच अलाउड है इन्फेक्शन नहीं क्योंकि यहाँ रहता है डेटॉल एंटीसेप्टिक जो हर तरह से मेरे परिवार को प्रोटेक्ट करता है ये देता है 100 बीमारी वाले जर्म से सुरक्षा जर्म फ्री घर यानी बीमारी फ्री घर तभी तो मैं मानूं सिर्फ डेटॉल का धुला डेटॉल बी 100% श्योर चलो बाय सी यू बाय मेरे घर में खरोंच अलाउड है इन्फेक्शन नहीं क्योंकि यहाँ रहता है डेटॉल एंटीसेप्टिक जो हर तरह से मेरे परिवार को प्रोटेक्ट करता है ये देता है 100 बीमारी वाले जर्म से सुरक्षा जर्म फ्री घर यानी बीमारी फ्री घर तभी तो मैं मानूं सिर्फ डेटॉल का धुला डेटॉल बी 100% श्योर
Great. So, did you all see how this brand positioning has really worked out? Dettol, the expert antiseptic germ killer, for mothers who worry about the health of the family, helps you protect your family from germs because its antiseptic action is trusted by doctors for years. So, in this ad, they have made the mother herself a doctor. The reason she's wearing a white coat is not to directly tell you that she's a doctor. It's like an indirect clue that she's saying because she's an expert, she's leaving the house and she trusts Dettol to do the work for everything that she needs to worry about, right? That is how brand positioning is actually created. All the verbal cues, all the just the visual cues, everything is given in the ad to give you what the brand positioning really stands for. And that is what one needs to really look at when they look at communication. Okay.
चलो बाय सी
Now we are going to do a group participation. Pooja, how much time do we have?
Although it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can proceed for like 5-10 minutes more, I guess.
Okay, then I'll actually, I think we'll just take questions then. I think it's pretty clear right now. We can just do a quick Q&A then.
Okay. So when you say brand, I'm getting few questions on my WhatsApp messages also.
Right.
When you say brand positioning is important,
yeah,
how a newcomer enters a market when they have to make their own space?
Yes. So any brand that comes into the new space has to understand its entire environment. One, it has to understand what is the competition saying. Therefore, what is the space that they can make their own? How can they make? How can they create a positioning which is different from what already exists in the market? That becomes the challenge, and all of that really comes from doing customer research, product research, understanding customer psychology, and from that arriving at a positioning that can be unique and different for your brand. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, अपनी जगह बनाने के लिए they have to find out ways how they can come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So I have another question. If I'm a small company, I'm a regional company.
Yes.
Can मुझे पहले अपनी region में space बनाना चाहिए or can I enter the entire country market?
You can enter the entire global market. You cannot. You don't need to think of just your region or anything. You have to just say, see, today there is no geography boundaries at all. जो प्रोडक्ट यूएस एंड यूरोप में भी मिलते हैं वो पटना रांची सब जगह मिलते हैं. There is no limitation. Your challenge is global. You have to think, you have to start thinking, how can I differentiate my brands from all these global players also? Yeah. So there are actually a lot of local brands that have challenged very successfully global brands. One of the biggest examples I can give you is Thumbs Up. Thumbs Up is a local brand. Now, of course, it is owned by Coca-Cola company. But there was a reason why Coca-Cola bought Thumbs Up, because even after so many years of Coca-Cola being in India, Thumbs Up still has such a huge equity in the market that people prefer Thumbs Up over Coca-Cola also. So Coca-Cola said, forget it, we'll just buy the company. We cannot challenge it. Right? So that is the strength of thinking local and acting global.
Okay, I have another question. He is saying, sir, बताइए कि क्या मेरी छोटी company internationally, like जैसे अभी आपने बोला, internationally नाम कमा सकती है. I think social media is the only platform. You don't have to go on TV screen. Social media can do it. So I think you'll be the best one to explain this much.
First and foremost, yes, your small company can become a global player. Thumbs Up एक छोटी कंपनी थी, एक फैक्ट्री वाली कंपनी थी, उसने कोका-कोला को हिला दिया. I'm saying your small companies can definitely challenge global players. All the all the brands that are big brands today started small today. The process will take time. It will take time for you to become a big global brand. But there is nothing stopping you from becoming a big global brand tomorrow. What is most important is that you write down your brand positioning and you stick with it. This is my differentiator. This is what I create. And if your differentiator and your brand positioning is strong and powerful, there is no global brand that can stand in your way. The problem, and I'm sorry I'm saying this, but a problem I see in a lot of Indian brands is they try to copy the foreign brands and say, let me do what they are doing and become big by that. The problem is that then you are always just becoming another Me Too product. It is just another product which is similar to the global brand, and the global brand has more money, more power, more muscle, more reach. And they will always, road roll you in terms of more volume on media. But if your brand positioning and your brand proposition is sharp, is unique, is different, you can challenge any brand. You can challenge any brand globally. But you have to believe and that you can do it, and you have to be very, very sharp in saying, ये brand ये करते हैं, पर मेरा brand इसके अलावा ये भी करता है. That is what you have to push your brand to become better than those players. Right?
Okay, so as per my understanding, जितना अभी 2 सेशंस में मैंने सीखा कि हमें एक अपना बेंचमार्क सेट करना है, अपनी एक पोजीशनिंग बनानी है, and then we have to stick on that and उसको लेके आगे चलना है. We cannot keep on changing or switching roles in that. संयम तो रखना ही पड़ेगा till the time that level.
Absolutely.
So with this संयम, I think अभी सबने selfies भी ले ली होंगी. And I have personally received so many WhatsApp messages with photos. Maybe, sir, I'll share them with you also.
All right, great.
Love clicking photos. They're sending so many compliments. And yes, guys, before we come to the closure of the day 2 today, I'd like to mention ये course आपका June 8th, 11th, 13th और 16th को भी continue रहेगा. This is a complete course and you must take full advantage of it, learn from it, and then move ahead in your career with more knowledge. So I'll announce the winner of last session. Last session it was Anshika Pandey from Bihar, Patna.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes. And you guys keep sending your questions, your opinions, your feedback to us at vidyadan@mescindia.org. I'd like to mention about our future sessions. Yesterday we had a very, very great session with the Majors Institute of Excellence, Singapore. That's on gaming. So that is also a 5-day workshop that's going on. So be ready on June 6th. We have Kelly Bender with us. And then that will be 10th, 12th, and 15th of June. We had a lovely session by Mr. Subhash Ghai sir yesterday. And we have learned a lot from him yesterday. Tomorrow, again, the second session of smartphone filmmaking. It will be with Mr. Ritesh Taksande. Tomorrow, 11:30, yes, because this is a 2-hour class, so it will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So stay tuned for all our sessions. Or as you have already registered for one session, like if it's a 7-day class, you just need to register once. And these are certification courses. Post the completion of your 7-day class, you will be getting a certificate from Media and Entertainment Skills Council Vidyadan. And yes, till the time we meet tomorrow, you guys stay safe. And thank you so much, sir. We all have learned a lot and we will wait for your next session.
Thank you. I'm very excited. Looking forward. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.